Well, as I prepare for Six Summer here, one of the things I decided to do was to pull off all my favorite tires, the M&H Race Masters. These still got, I guess, some decent life on them. Probably if I flipped them around on the rims and start wearing on the other side, swing axle, they want to tend to wear on one side. But they do wear quick. I didn't want to waste them doing burnouts and stuff, so I bought a used set of 215/65 15s. Yeah, these will probably go on the daughter's rims. Here's part of Hubert sitting down here. And yeah, we're getting stuff collected around, but I'll probably have them thrown on these rims here. She's got 6 of these things, so we can put some race tires on one set and then road tires on another. And got to thank Mike for the great deal on the header. Well, there's the new shoes, guys. These are a Continental. Check out the horse. These are takeoffs. They do need a good cleaning. Or the reason I put these regular street tires on the car is I am going to be doing another drag and drive. As you guys probably already know, Six Summer 2025 is coming up here really quick. Yeah, we're not in quite June. June is here in a couple of days. June 1st and June 15th, 14th. I think it's the 15th. I got to hit the road and head over to Illinois. But yeah, kind of want to be safer, because you never know what kind of weather we're going to get. It's supposed to rain today. We got nice overcast skies, but they're predicting rain here in another hour, and I need to get some more test runs on Simon here. I'm not really happy with the way it's shifting yet. Got to get a couple more miles on it and see what happens. Hopefully, I think I'm going to have to be taking the transmission out. I put a different hockey stick in it, something that it's a heavy-duty unit, and it's fatter than a factory one. And I think it might be, I'm hoping that's the problem. I'll probably put a factory one back in it, according to Prescott, which I got to give a big shout out to Prescott. He's, answered a lot of questions for me, and it's hard to get people to do that. So yeah, thanks Prescott for being so helpful with your time and your answers. Yeah, he said he's never broke a factory one. I don't know. You read in the Berg manual, they do some welding on those and so forth. So I chose the Weddle one, which already had the, what do they call those? Draw a blank. Wedges, not wedges. Oh, why am I drawing a blank? That already had material in, the weak areas, but it does seem to be kind of soft. Like I said, it's fatter. So I don't know if that's the problem, if I'm having with the selector or not. It could be something I did internally. Seems to do good. So far, I've taken the couple around. I've got 15 miles on it. Seems to do pretty good up until, I don't know, seems like when it warms up, maybe there's something to that. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just paranoid. I made a clutch adjustment, and I got to get back out on the road and see. But yeah, enough rambling. I think I'm going to kind of show you guys how I'm packing for this drag and drive event. Kind of a couple of things I'm using, and I'll be looking for other comments and answers on maybe what you guys think I need or what you guys use. But yeah, like so far, I took the M&H DOT drag slicks off, put regular street tires on, mainly because those do wear fast, and we may wind up in some wet situations, and I'm looking for more of a safer tire, not such a sketchy tire. I have drove those M&Hs in the rain before, and they're not too bad, as long as you stay off the throttle. But yeah, they do cut loose early. And I think I'm going to give them, donate them to Emily for some racing tires for Hubert there before I wear them all out, so she can have some life and some fun on them. But yeah, let's see what I got hidden back in here in the cave that we need to start getting ready to put in Hubert for the big adventure. So hold on. Probably the first thing that I was recommended by a couple other people have done drag and drive things in Bugs. There's Not much room in these things. Actually surprising what you can pack in them. I will point out the one mod that I did is I put a board in replace of the back seat. The back seat will work with this roll cage, but it is kind of cumbersome to get in and out of, get the seat in and out. So I just kind of put that board in there, and it works really good for stacking stuff on top. These soft side tool bags are real handy. They don't take up much room, and you can stack lots of stuff in them. Since I've been grabbing some of the freebies from Harbor Freight and buying some other stuff. Just adding on to all the tools I need so I don't have to keep packing them. I do need to maybe think about some socket wrenches themselves instead of bringing mine from home. This thing's got dirty just sitting around. The Bauer bag for the power tools. I bought the bigger one because I thought maybe it'd be convenient to bring all my power tools, but I think pretty much all I used was my impact for raising the car and lowering a car. And one of the tools for that, you guys probably seen, was using one of these scissor jacks. This is, I don't know. Unfortunately, they just cleaned out my U-pick and pull salvage yard down the road. I was hoping maybe to grab more of a factory one. There's not much of a base on the bottom of this thing, and yeah, you gotta be careful because you will tip it over. And I welded a lug nut on here, but I still kept the hole just in case I ran out of power, I could still spin it. But yeah, I'm thinking about putting a bigger base on the bottom of this. But yeah, I pretty much used the impact, and I never even really used I got the little air pressure, little handheld compressor. Didn't use that a whole lot. But yeah, I also put things like, well, not in that drawer. But yeah, I may grab another torque wrench just for torquing lug nuts. But this battery power pack thing comes in handy. You know, that fits in there really nicely. Probably just the impact and the air compressor. Maybe a flashlight or two in there. And some of the bigger tools. But yeah, the soft side ones worked real well. All right, now I've got these nice Bauer boxes here. I got 2 of them. These are nice because they are stackable. I thought about getting the one that's got the wheels on it and the handle so you can stack them all together. You know, and you can pull it into your hotel or wherever you're staying so you don't leave all your tools and supplies in the car, but I didn't have enough room for that. But these are nice. You know, they're almost the same width next to each other as the back seat. I think there was a gap in there, and I think that's where I stuck the small folding bag. What's nice about these is they got all these little compartments in here for organizing stuff. You know, the trouble with the soft bags is they don't organize very well. Like I actually use 2 different types of lug nuts for my racing tires, and then for my 5 spokes, I have actually different ones for the front and rear. That's a long story. But you know, you can carry timing lights, spare parts, spare fuel pump. I got in this one, and I think this one I got things like extra gaskets, fuel injectors, clutch cable. I think I need to pick up a throttle cable. I gotta remember to do that. Spark plugs. I got spark plugs, spark plug gapper, and these will be full of sockets. And these will be full of sockets and tools too. As soon as I start unpacking. I'm trying to get, you know, pretty much all the tools I need in these so I don't have to keep unpacking and packing them. And because I'm not very organized. But yeah, like I said, these pack right on that board there where my back seat would be. And then I can pile other stuff on top of it. Now, one thing I did notice, these are Toyota Celica seats out of like a 2000s Toyota. They work really well. They are kind of on the heavy side, you know, if you're going to compare them to racing seats. But what I like is I've got this, it's probably going to be hard to see, this big space underneath here for storing things. one thing I just found out is this jack will actually fit underneath there. I got to put it under in the car and drive it around and see if it's going to slide out from underneath there, but it felt pretty secure when I put it in there. Here, let me show you. There's the jack, and I still have the factory seat mount there in case I ever decide to put those back in. This, just a little tuck of this. Oh, I had it in there the other day. All right, we got to leave it unlocked or pumped. Makes it easier to get in there, out of there. Unless I stuck it in backwards last time. All right, let me try it backwards. There. It's not gonna come forward. And I guess if I probably stack something back here, it's not gonna probably slide that way, but more than likely I'll have something stacked there. It's gonna be that is going to be a stacking game. I thought last time I did this, I hit it where it was gonna hit. I guess if it didn't put the wheels there, it ain't gonna go anywhere. Yeah, it's locked in there pretty good. Oh yeah, one last thing. I did grab this small folding table. It opens up to be 34 inches square, so it's not quite 4 foot by 4 foot. I did see a couple of guys had some of these, and you know, it's kind of convenient because you can put your smaller stuff on it when you pull into your pits and unload everything. And I gotta find it. I do have a tarp. I don't remember where I put it. I think it's up there with the helmet. So yeah, the first thing I'll do is put the tarp down, then start unloading the car. Well, there is an idea what it looks like packed. You can see my little boxes down below, and just stacking tires on top, and the old soft tool bags. There's room back here. I usually throw the helmet way in the back, and you know, daughter and I, or whoever's riding co-pilot, still got room for luggage. Does make it kind of hard to see out the back. You know, these cars don't come with the biggest mirrors. Even the rear view mirror is a little teeny tiny thing. But surprisingly, it all does work. I don't do the trailer thing. I don't ever think I'm going to carry an extra transmission or an extra engine, or it would be nice for packing, though. I can understand that, but then you got the hassle of having to deal with the trailer. Yeah, if it ever came right down to it, I probably will not. You know, it takes forever to pull the engine out of this thing. Yeah, I'm gonna have to make some road trips with the jack down there. I threw underneath the mat. I got the jack handles right here too. Hopefully the mat will keep it kind of quiet. But yeah, last time I carried a gas can behind the seat. I don't know if I want to do that again. And then I put like my duffel bag behind my seat with the computer and camera and stuff in there. And then the GoPros went underneath the seat over there, the GoPro pack. But yeah, it's tight, but it all does fit. Yeah, but that's some of the things that I will be carrying on this drag and drive adventure, if I make it. And I took the car with a quick spin around there, and it still just doesn't seem really fine-tuned to select those gears. But I don't know. If I want to pull the engine out again, probably should change out the hockey stick and see if it feels a little more buttery smooth. But one last item I will be taking is a duffel bag. They make these duffel bags designed for, 2 to 3 day travels. We'll be traveling for a week. I won't be bringing a whole lot of clothes, mainly probably shirts and a couple of pairs of pants. But yeah, since that's a soft duffel bag style luggage, it packs really nicely too. If you guys have any ideas, want to throw them at me, I know some guys run roof racks. I do have a roof rack, but I heard horror stories about them, especially with the rag top, not letting the airflow go to cool the engine. Yeah, that's the last thing we need is not to cool an air-cooled engine without air. But yeah, until next time, keep cruising, keep shifting those gears, and always enjoy the ride. We'll see ya. Before I close out the video, tell me all, should I try running this maybe towards the end of the season, this turbo? This was a swap meet buy. Guy told me it was brand new. He probably lost the receipts, but this is what they call a GT35, and it's got a big old huge, I think the compressor wheel here is 1/2 inch bigger in diameter than the one I'm running now. I'm not 100% sure. There's no markings on here, so I don't know what these housings are, but this is I think even bigger. But yeah, just by looking at it, I don't see any carbon or anything in here. I do believe it is brand new. So yeah, who wants to see this install? I'm pretty sure it's almost a bolt-in, for the exhaust housing wise, bolt-in. I'd have to remake another exhaust onto exhaust number 7. And yeah, I don't know how this is gonna, if this is gonna interrupt the degree pulley with the with my tooth wheel on it. But yeah, it'd be interesting to find out how that thing works.